We absolutely love our chicken tractor. I'm going to show you the quick and easy ways that we adapted it to make it useful year-round, and how easy it is to take it from a regular chicken tractor to an all-season chicken tractor.
I believe we're wild and free. I feel so alive, so alive.
Learning how to utilize our chickens properly has been a huge benefit in our permaculture garden systems. Before, we just had the chickens around, we kind of, they were free range, they went wherever. And then lately, with our new batch that we got this spring, we decided that we wanted to use them more efficiently. How we are doing that currently is with a chicken tractor. And let me tell you, this has been a game changer compared to just having free range chickens, which sometimes cause more destruction than they do benefit. This has been huge. In my mulch video, I talked all about how we're using them to prep the ground before we create basically our perennial planting beds. So they're going through and they're kind of helping us till up the ground, and they're getting the benefits from it. They're digging everything up, they're scratching around, they're being birds, right? This is what they're meant to do. It's the idea of connecting your resources. We need help getting the ground prepared for our garden, and that's what they do naturally. So by connecting those resources, we've reduced a lot of our workload. If you've never heard of a chicken tractor, this is what it is. It's basically a movable chicken coop. So you can move your chickens around from spot to spot in their little coop with wheels, and it has a little handle on the other side. So you just drag it around, and it makes it really versatile to have your chickens in a tractor because you can put them out in a pasture, you can be moving them through your yard, or you can even move this just around your property so that they don't end up getting bored in one spot. This is a rugged ranch chicken tractor, and I'll link it below. It's been amazing. We've used it for a variety of different things. We've used it for brooder for our young hens inside the barn, an isolation pen when we have new birds that we're trying to acclimate to the entire rest of the flock. I can't tell you how handy it has been to have this around. It was a great investment. I love it because it's metal, it's steel, it's super sturdy, and then we were able to adapt it to make it even more versatile. So I'm going to show you all the things that we've done to it to make it more functional as more of a year-round chicken tractor, instead of just kind of a seasonal when it's dry, sunny, gorgeous, perfect weather, because hey, we're in Washington. When is it ever like that? We started out this winter knowing that we needed a roof. We used just 2 pieces of scrap metal, and we have them hooked to boards under here so that they have some weight. They can still blow loose in heavy storms, but for the most part, it's been really good. And plus those boards just give it that angle so it sheds the water a little bit better. And then we also have some extra storage room underneath them. So we usually slide their container of food right up underneath it. There is one perch inside, but we've added just some boards to give them additional perches. And overall, it's pretty easy to move. It's heavy with the metal on top, really light otherwise. For the most part, it's pretty easy to just lift and off we go. Something else that's really handy is I just have this rope with a loop tied in one end, and then what I do is I actually grab all of their greens from the garden and I just tie them up. And then I can hang this inside. I have a carabiner right inside that I just hook this to, and I find that they eat the greens much better if they're not on the ground. So I'll put them in a bowl. I've tried putting them on the ground. They don't like them as much, but when I tie them up like this, they clean them off. So all that will be left is just some stems. You guys ready for your greens? Oh, yum. They get fresh greens once a day. We also move the chicken tractor once a day. We also have their food and water hooked to carabiners. So the food is easy to swirl around like this and dump out if we need to. And then with the water, we actually can just pull it off the carabiner and pull it out when we need to clean it. So as we were heading into winter, I obviously added the roof, but then I knew they needed a little bit more protection from wind, snow, especially rain, because we get so much rain and sometimes it's coming in sideways. So what I started doing was adding greenhouse panels. I happen to have some sitting around from when we redid our greenhouse, and it's worked out really well. So I have about half of the coop done. I didn't want to completely enclose it yet because it's actually, we've had some really warm days. But now that it's December and it's getting cold, it's time to put up the rest of them. What's great about these greenhouse panels is that they're super durable. They'll obviously last for more than 1 year, and they're going to be really easy to store. So in the springtime, I can just, snip off all the zip ties and then lay these all flat together. Obviously I'll label them, hopefully, if I remember right. I'll label them so I know where they go. We can just lay them flat up in the top of the barn or in the garage, and then pull them all out again in the fall and put them right back on if we're still using the chicken tractor at that time. The other thing that I really like about the greenhouse plastic is that, of course, has the greenhouse effect. So if we ever do have a sunny day, it's nice because it actually helps kind of radiate that sun and kind of magnify it so that they get extra warmth on those nice sunny days. And then on these cloudy days, it's still a really nice wind block, rain block, snow block, everything like that. But there's still lots of ventilation. So you can see the whole top is still open. There's a nice gap. Ventilation is super important. That's usually what causes pneumonia, is the wetness. So obviously they're really active. They're not like just sitting around in damp, gross conditions. Plus they move every day. So if we ever need to, we can also drape a tarp or a heavy canvas over them on really, really stormy days, but they're super few and far between. So for average days, this will last them all winter, and that's all we'll need to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of them today and get them ready for winter. Okay, so I've got my plastic. This is my greenhouse plastic. And what I'm going to do first is just mark out and cut all of the strips. What's nice about this is that you can cut it with just regular scissors. I mean, obviously use ones that you don't care about because it probably will make them dull, but it makes it super easy to work with. Okay. Since it's cold out and since this has been sitting outside, it's cracking when I cut it. So this is normally how I do it with the scissors, but it's just too cold right now. So I put it inside for a bit. We're gonna let it warm up and then we're gonna finish this. It's getting done today. All right, so I got the greenhouse plastic all warmed up. It was so cold, it was just brittle and it was just cracking like crazy. So now look at that, nice clean cut. So I'm gonna get this all cut and then we'll take it outside and hook it on to the chicken tractor. I've got all my pieces, so the next thing I'm going to do is actually drill the holes in them, and the holes are where the zip ties will then run through each of the holes, and that's what secures it to the actual chicken tractor. So here's a look at the holes that I'm drilling. Just big enough basically to slip the zip ties through and secure it onto the frame of the chicken tractor. Didn't even lose a chicken yet. I think we're ready for winter, so bring on the snow. Popping in for a quick update. So the storm is obviously here, the winter storm. We're getting snow and it's supposed to really drop overnight tonight and get down into the teens. But the chicken tractor is holding up really well. They were perfectly dry this morning. There really wasn't any snow inside. So I'm really happy with the way that we winterized this. And honestly, it's fairly toasty in there. Obviously their body heat helps generate extra heat in there. And then there's still really good ventilation out the top, but with those panels on the side, it does seem to be keeping it much warmer inside, and they seem pretty happy, so I think this is gonna work. Hey, if you like this video and you want more tips or to see more about what we're doing on our permaculture homestead, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Not only does that help us gain followers, but it also helps introduce the content to more like-minded people. So we're getting the word out about permaculture, which is so important, and teaching people how to live just a little bit more sustainably every day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.